It is time for another spooky story. Y'all know the drill. If you have a spooky story of your own, paranormal or not, that you would like to share, please feel free to comment or send me a DM. Make sure as well to add me on Facebook, same handle, Autumn in Appalachia. Oh, biscuits and gravy, y'all. We have got two spooky follower stories today. The first is by C. She will be tagged. We're just calling her C because of her username. Second is by Brittany. We will also be tagging Brittany. So let both of them know if you have any questions in the comments. Now, C said that growing up, she lived smack dab in the middle of Texas, and she believes that her parents' land is either cursed or has some sort of haunting. She said that growing up, she would see two things consistently that scared the ever-loving Kentucky Fried hell out of her. Now, the first thing that C said she would consistently see in her parents' house growing up was this black shadow figure or a shadow person. It would always appear in the garage, and she said that it made this god-awful noise that she just will not be able to ever forget. She said if you can imagine like some sort of a non-human shriek and a scream at the same time, she doesn't quite know how to describe it, and that it also would lunge at her. And she said that when it would like lunge at her, she's already hightailing her hiney out of that garage. She's already running, and yeah, that's super creepy. Now, the second thing that she would frequently see growing up, this one gives me heebie-jeebies, and it's super compelling. You'll understand why in a moment. So she would see this older lady under her dining room table in their dining area, and she said that the older lady would just look out from up underneath the dining room table, and that she had this unnatural, creepy smile on her face, and that when she would smile at C, she had very sharp teeth. Now, that petrified her. She did not tell, keep this in mind, when she grew up as an adult, she had children of her own, her siblings had children of their own. They did not tell their children about what C had seen growing up in that house. Now, she said that her nephew is now 8 years old. Her daughter is 21 years old. And over the years, at various points in time, without having any prior knowledge of what C had seen, her daughter and her 8-year-old nephew have both seen the same thing. The older woman under the dining room table with the creepy grin and sharp teeth. What the hell? That is so scary. That wraps up our first story. Now let's get into the second from Brittany. Mother Nature is putting a little thunderstorm ASMR in the background of this second story for y'all. Really just sets the tone here. So Brittany said that she watched one of my sleep paralysis stories and just felt compelled to message me and share her own story. It even made her a bit emotional sharing it, she said, because it's not a story she shared with anybody other than her mom before, but it was something that she said was just horrific, and it's something she still thinks about. So one night she is asleep in her room. She begins having sleep paralysis. It wakes her up, and she said that she could not move anything. She could not move a finger. She can't move a toe. She is completely paralyzed in the bed. The only thing she can do is move her eyes to look around the room. And she said that she immediately felt something that was just pure evil in the room, and it was so intense and so scary that she genuinely thought that that was it for her, that she was not going to make it through the night. Now, as she is moving her eyes to look around the room, the light from the TV is illuminating certain aspects of the room, but it is very, very dark in there, and she sees this black like mass or shadow that was darker than the darkness. She said it is absolute pitch black. It didn't have enough of a form or a shape for her to tell whether it was like a man or a woman or like anything like that. It is just something that is emitting the most evil, negative energy, and it absolutely petrified her, and she cannot get her body to move no matter how hard she's trying. This impacted her and petrified her so much that the next day she decided she's going to tell her mom about it. Now, she said it was summertime, it's hot outside, so she has a pair of shorts on. She is sitting in the floor telling her mom what happened to her, and as she is telling the story, she looks down at her legs, and she said there were scratch marks all down her legs, and that they were deep scratch marks that very clearly looked like they had been inflicted on her by something or somebody. Now, a bit of a disclaimer here. Brittany said that she's a fingernail biter and that she plays guitar, so she always keeps her fingernails short, not long enough where she could scratch herself, and she has not ever been one to scratch herself in her sleep or anything like that. So there's just no way to debunk it. There's no way to explain it. And she later on, after seeing these scratches in her legs, goes to look at herself in the mirror. The same scratch marks are all down her lower back. And she, like I said, has no way to explain it, does not know how else it could have happened to her unless that black shadow that she saw the night before physically attacked her as well as spiritually. So that's the spooky stories. Just to be honest, y'all, I am fighting the urge so bad to share some of these other follower stories that I have gotten this week, because there are some that I cannot get out of my head. They are just bone chilling, and I'm so excited to share them with you all, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And like I said, if you have a spooky story of your own that you would like to share, please feel free to comment or send me a DM. We also are going to be doing a series soon. Somebody had requested I talk about the Hatfield and McCoys. You may or may not have heard of them. It is some real Appalachian holler shit, so stay tuned for that too. Have a good night.